New York and New Jersey, you guys, we are seeing blue states become red states before our eyes. The new data that we're seeing is stunning. This comes from the Manhattan Institute in New York. This is the governor head-to-head race between Elise Stefanik and Kathy Hochul. Kathy Hochul is a horrible governor. I'm really sad that I think it was Lee Zeldin who ran against her. Lee Zeldin is awesome. He was a fantastic candidate. He did well, but didn't win. Right now, we are getting probably the first poll that I've ever seen in a governor race in New York where there is a Republican leading ahead, 43% to 42%, with 15% either not sure or voting for other. That is huge. If Kathy Hochul decides not to rerun and we have Antonio Delgado, she is leading by 6%, 43% to 37%. I like that poll. Why? Because in both instances, against both matchups, Elise Stefanik gets 43%. That shows me some consistency in that poll. That is huge. Meanwhile, in New Jersey, we're getting 1 week away from the governor race there, and Jack Ciattarelli has closed the gap significantly. This is a huge pickup if it happens. Here's what we're seeing there. We have Mikey Sherrill, at 49%, and Jack Ciattarelli at 46%. So very, very close. That is within the margin of error. So we are looking at potentially a tie as the polls stand right now. I'm going to show you some more data in just 1 second that really blows us open. But there's actually a second poll that was underneath this, and I love this poll. When people ask this question, this is so telling. This was actually one of the biggest tells for the 2024 election. I talked about it on my show a lot last year. But the question is, regardless of who you personally support, who do you think most of your neighbors, friends, or coworkers will vote for? Last election, we were seeing some pro-Kamala Harris polls come out. In those same polls, if you ask that same question, it reversed. People, and that's true for this, Jack Ciattarelli is at 53% to Mikey Sherrill at 47%. There is a perception in New Jersey that, and what people are saying essentially is that they think that Jack Ciattarelli is going to win. Again, when this same question was asked in 2024 for pro-Harris polls, Donald Trump would also win. And obviously he won the election. So this looks very good for Jack. The reason why I like this is because when you're asking people, what do you think your neighbors are going to do? That in many ways, you can be more candid. You can get a better answer. When you're asking about yourself, some people are going to lie. Some people are going to answer who are never going to vote. But when you're asking about your neighbors, that just shows what you are seeing on the ground. What kind of signs are you seeing up? What's the rhetoric that you're seeing? And the fact that Jack Ciattarelli has a 6% lead on that is very telling. Here's some other fantastic news in New Jersey. Right now, if you look at the advanced voting, which Republicans have historically done very, very poorly on, mostly from shooting themselves in the foot because people will tell them don't go vote early because there's election fraud. Maybe there's election fraud from time to time, but it turns out when you tell people not to go vote in early, they oftentimes forget to vote on day of and they lose the election. Right now, you have 734,000 ballots that have been sent in early either through mail or in person. Ballots cast by party registration, 409,000 for Democrats and 199,000 for Republican. Turnout percentage of registered voters is 16% for Democrats and 11.9% for Republicans. So Republicans are trailing, but here's the thing, guys. Like I just said, Republicans usually do way worse than this. Like you'll see numbers where, it might be a 16% turnout early for Democrats and like a 4% turnout for Republicans. The fact that they're trailing not by that much could be really good news for Jack Ciattarelli and his campaign. I want to say that both these elections are going to go to Republicans. I really hope they do. Again, the New York one I don't believe is in 2025. I think this is looking forward to 2026. But I want this one in a week with Jack Ciattarelli to go its way. But even if it doesn't, and it might not, the important thing are the trends. I am in this for the long haul. I want New York and New Jersey to turn into Florida. Florida was not turned overnight. You'll remember in 2018, Ron DeSantis squeaked by. In 2016, I should go back even earlier, Donald Trump squeaked by Hillary Clinton. To think that less than a decade ago, it was squeaked by is kind of crazy. Because now we look at Florida and it is like deep, deep red. In 2022, Ron DeSantis was the only person that had the red wave that was promised. He wrecked house. I mean, Florida just went so hard right. And that didn't happen in a day. It happened a little bit incrementally over time. Each election, if it can just go more and more red, we are in business. And I think New York, New Jersey, and Virginia are the 3 states that Republicans need to focus on most. Maybe New Mexico would be a close fourth in there. And why is this happening? This is the big question. This is why I said that Zohran Mamdani in New York City is a bad decision for Democrats long term. I know that people are excited. I'm talking about the left. They're excited about the fact that there's this socialist that's going to go in there and do something completely new. In politics, there's a pendulum. And when one side puts forth their crazies, like Zohran Mamdani, I mean, he's the most radical person in leftist politics that is actually going to get elected right now. What happens is when people put in their crazies, the other side has an opportunity to strike back. With someone as crazy as Zohran Mamdani in New York, someone who has an abysmal national favorability rating, by the way, the rest of New York State is going to be watching very closely. And they're going to respond. And from what I hear, and again, they're going to have a year to respond until the next governor race, as well as, of course, their Congress members, which could totally flip as well. From what I hear right now, and you can tell me in the comments below, because there are a lot of people who watch this show from New York, the rest of New York, not in New York City, is becoming very, very red. And I think they're going to swing hard in a year. Red enough even to balance out New York City and turn this state blood red. Hey guys, I want to invite you to subscribe to my new Substack. Substack is a weekly newsletter that comes right to your inbox. It's completely free to you, and I simply write about what I couldn't get to on the show or I couldn't talk about because big tech would censor me. Substack is fantastic. They never censor me, and I'm able to talk a little more candidly with you there. It's, again, completely free to you. Go check it out. The link is in the description below. Thank you so much for watching today's episode, everybody. Please like the video so other great patriots like yourselves will see it. And if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please give the podcast a rating so other patriots will find it there as well. And you can tune in every single weekday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show, or you can watch another video right here.